Here we go. Welcome to CS101, our first recording of fall 2017. These will be available on my YouTube channel. Just look for Professor Manning on YouTube and you'll find my YouTube channel. Got some humorous ones there. And I notice in our syllabus here, if we go to the course, I'll drag the tab over here. You know, you can drag tabs from one browser to another. You have multiple tabs, you can drag them, you can rearrange them by just dragging the tab and dragging them. You can drag one window over into this one. And the reason I'm looking at this one is going back to the main course here in the syllabus. In the plan for assignments here, the next assignment we're planning on having due is this Edge assignment. And along the way, though, we're going to be looking at general use of the computer. Before we dive into Word, we're going to be getting into Word heavily next week. We're going to be going over cloud concepts and browser concepts. And did you know that you can actually use Office documents in the cloud? You can go to office.com and you can log in with your Microsoft account. And you can actually create documents without even having to have Word or Microsoft Office on your computer. These will save them to your cloud drive. It does give you the option, if you do have a school account, a .mas.edu account there, you can actually download Office 2016 for free. As a student, you get to have Office 2016. So I did make a link regarding this on the main page right here underneath Introduction to Windows and Office. You can use Office online, meaning you're using it in a browser instead of actually installing the program. And just email me if you want a free mas.edu account. You can always create your own personal Microsoft account, but you may have a few more features available to you if you use the school account. I have lots of things available, and we also, with a school account, we can reset the password if you forget it, where otherwise you have to go through Microsoft and have them send you an email. And we may have a few extra features as a school account. So back to the eLearn, and I do have a upload for that. It's gonna be called PA16 because that's what page it's on. Edge assignment. Now the Edge assignment is pretty easy. What we're going to be doing is basically looking at the Edge browser and seeing what it can do for us. And it also has a Cortana feature in it as well. I mostly get annoyed by Cortana and never use it. I just do a Google search when I need information. But if you like Cortana, Microsoft is marketing that. Remember how you can get the little Alexa boxes? I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Cortana box they're going to sell to you someday. Maybe they already do. But we're going to be doing that using the Edge browser. Now, to get to your Edge browser, there's many ways to get there. If you have it on your taskbar, you may see the little E, circly E down here at the bottom. But Mr. Newland told me that they don't always have that installed on your computer. Are you seeing the Edge browser on your bar down at the bottom? Okay, so they took it away. That doesn't mean the program's not installed. That just means it's not conveniently there on your taskbar. That's what this bar is across the bottom. And you can always move that taskbar. I actually like it on the left side of my screen. But if you want to find a program that's not showing up here, you can click down here in the little Windows flag button or the lower left next to the control key on your keyboard. That brings up this screen where you can just start typing the name of the program that you're hoping to find, such as Edge, E-D-G-E. Yes?
I click on it and then it comes up for about 5 seconds and then goes away. Does that happen to me?
I've heard that happening. It only happened to a couple people in the last class. So your alternative will be use a different browser. I've asked Mr. Newland about that. He can't explain it. But I'll show you how you can still do the same assignment without using Edge. We'll do the same kind of information, but use whatever browser you like, Chrome or Firefox. And don't be shy about letting us know if you do see problems. Like if you really want to use Edge, and it's a problem, let Mr. Newland know. If you fire off an email to me, I'll remind him as well. Because he's supporting our classroom computers, and I don't know why Edge is doing that. Question? Right, and neither does Firefox. So don't worry about Cortana. We'll show you put in your notes that hey, Edge wasn't working, not using Cortana. If you do a little research, there is a way to actually integrate Cortana, but I didn't want to have to go through the hassle, and I don't trust that it really works without actually trying it myself. And I don't like Cortana that much to think it's worth the hassle. It might be an interesting experiment someday. And I did quick search last time of hoping it was easy, but from what I could tell, it's not easy. You have to put a couple plugins to actually get Cortana, and then I'm not even trusting that it's the real Cortana. So you can just use a different browser, and we'll browse to the pages, and instead of using Cortana, we'll just see what we get without Cortana. And you can just put that in your document that we'll be creating on that assignment. Is at the top you can just put, hey, Edge wasn't working for me. I used the different Firefox or Chrome to do this, and here's my results. So remember, back to here, you can click on the Windows flag, and any program whatsoever that you think might be on the computer, you can just start typing. You don't have to click anywhere else. If that window is open, just start typing the word Edge, and you see it shows up as a possible match. And it may have other suggestions. See how it's highlighted in light blue there? That means that if I hit enter, it will open that program for me. So just hitting enter will start Edge. Now I'm not going to, because I have Edge running already right here under multiple tabs. And I'm visiting office.com in Edge. And I wouldn't be surprised, since it's a Microsoft product, that using these applications online might work better in Edge, just because Microsoft has a way of enslaving you to their programs that it only works correctly under the Edge browser. But you're welcome to try that. And if we put these browsers side by side, I'm going to shrink the size of this browser window a little bit. Over here I have Firefox. And notice the menus aren't radically different. There's one thing different here, is notice where the refresh the page button is in Edge. It's over here on the left side, the refresh the page, that's what that means. Over here, the refresh for Firefox is to the right of my address bar. And that's just the way browsers are. Some parts are similar, some parts are completely different. If I want to actually edit some settings in my browser, like turning Cortana on or off, under Edge I click these three dots, and then I go down to Settings, and I can go then to Advanced Settings, and I can actually turn off and on how Cortana behaves. I can turn on and off the Cortana Assist. And I learned this because the last class, Cortana wasn't coming up for me, and then I realized in my settings they had been turned off. So any browser, I can go up to the settings. That's up here in the upper right. Under Firefox, under here, I go to Options to adjust my settings. And under Chrome, it's similar, upper right. So you got to get to know your browser. The menus of your browser are important to know and have some understanding of what's going on here. If I hit the back key, that's going to the previous website. Under Edge, I have this, what is this thing? If I hover over it, it should tell me with a little pencil there. I think I can annotate my page, yeah, my notes. And I'm not sure why it's not, there it is. If I hover over it, I have a hub. There I can make a web note. Here I can actually share that particular website. So those are the things I can do in Edge. Before we do any more, I want you to get familiar with one other thing on our computer regarding general Windows behavior. Some of you are very used to using this, but I'm not assuming any of that. In this class, if there's anything that you're not sure about, it's your job to tell me, even though you think everybody else here knows this. We've got time to make sure you're comfortable with Windows. So if you feel you don't understand, don't be shy and wait till the end of class and say, you know, I lost you at the first 5 minutes and I've been waiting here trying to figure this out. Let me know, because that's what I'm here for. Even though you think everyone else knows this, I feel stupid asking the question. That's all right. Don't feel that way. Yes?
Where's all the stuff on your screen coming from? As soon as I click Edge, nothing like that comes up.
Okay, well, let's start from scratch. I move my browsers over here because I have a lot of things going, and of course I've been messing with it, and I'm so used to seeing all this stuff, leaving it confusing for you. So let me move that. I have Microsoft Word open. I'm going to move Microsoft Word out of the way. Then I'm going to have an empty desktop here first. And that's something else we're going to visit here. And I'm going to talk about the File Explorer. But first, if I were just starting up Edge, I would, since you don't have it on the browser, on the bar here, I click here and then just type Edge. And then I hit Enter to start Edge. Because, see, it's highlighted. I could come over and click on it too. And that should start Edge. And you should see something like this. And it'll appear at whatever website Edge decides to take you to first. Usually it'll take you to the Microsoft site because they want you to see their site. Here, I don't even know where it's taking me. I'm not at a specific website, but it is showing me a feed of pictures to pull me into some of a Microsoft site or something. So, are you able to start up Edge this way and actually get a window popping up?
Yes, but what is it? It's just like...
Oh, Edge is a browser, just like Chrome or Firefox. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, Edge is a browser. Edge is, yeah. See, everyone else was wondering too, and you helped answer the question. Edge is Microsoft's version of a browser.
Okay.
They want you to use Edge for browsing the internet, and that's why Microsoft pulls you in and makes things work better in Edge. It's just a browser like any other, and that's why I had it side by side with Firefox, just to compare with how Firefox behaves. So there's my browser. I don't even know what I'm using now. That's Firefox looking at some documents. And I have Firefox in another window with multiple other things in there. Where did it go? Now that I move my windows around, I got lost here. Because one of them has my book in it. But I can always come back to that. So that's Edge, and this is, oh, that's Edge too. I want to get, where's my Firefox? There we go. Here's my Firefox. And see, under Firefox, I have multiple tabs going. And Edge can do multiple tabs as well. I can click here on the plus over here in Edge and add another tab. So I could go to the Navigator to site here in Edge. Navigator.emmaus.edu and have that. Oh. elearn.emmaus.edu. I forgot the elearn part. Maybe one day it'll be called emmaus.edu. And I can then come back to a different website. These other icons indicate some things you can do. Take tabs, set aside tabs. I can manipulate my tabs. Variety of things you can do. But the main thing that the book assignment actually looks at is how Edge behaves with Cortana. But before we get to Edge, just some general Windows navigation. Yes? Oh, Cortana is like a little helper, a little automated helper that comes up to help answer your question. How many have heard of Alexa or Siri? It's Microsoft's version of Siri, while you're in the browser. Something to help you as you go. That's what Cortana is. And it's, to me, it's annoying. I don't like it. But it's useful to know about in case you come across someone that just loves Cortana. Then you understand what they do. Now, it's built into Windows too. Right next to that little Microsoft flag in the lower left, you also have type here to search. That's essentially Cortana. She can do so much. I don't know if Cortana is a he or she. It sounds like a she to me, but I don't know. Can do so much more. So it's Microsoft trying to sell you the OK Google, the Siri, the helper, because remember, whenever you search with Cortana or any of the others, your phone is keeping track of the things you like to search for, or the places you like to go. And they try to predict where you're going to go, and they sell that information to other companies, maybe even selling your information individually. And when you go to sites, you'll notice that suddenly the advertisements on those sites are advertising things that you have visited before. Have you ever noticed that? That the advertisements you're finding on pages are suddenly related to the last few sites you've been to or the last search you did. That's the people on the internet trying to serve you better, and other companies paying them to feed you the advertisements that they think will you'll be interested in, because they have a material interest in selling you goods. And that's the whole deal with Cortana, Siri. They're making money off of knowing, predicting the things that you do, especially your age, because you're their future customer. They want to be able to sell you things, and without being too annoying to you. Like every page you ever go to, since you search for car tires, every page now only shows you advertisements for car tires. That'd be kind of annoying, and you can get kind of paranoid about that, which you should be. Always be paranoid on the internet. Anyway, we're just going to see what Cortana can do in the browser. But back to what I was mentioning. Here on, you do have this little yellow envelope on your tab, right, on your little bar there, right? The little yellow envelope. That little yellow envelope is a folder. It's a yellow folder. That is your Windows File Explorer, a very important application. Lets you view the different files on your computer. I can see folders in there, and depending on how I decide to view my folders, I might see them as large icons. Under the View tab of your File Explorer, I can choose to see things as extra large icons, as large icons, I think is what the default is at the start. I can view files in different ways. I like to view them with details. I like to see all the details of my files. That's under the View tab in File Explorer. So File Explorer is your way of viewing the files in your computer, where your files are. You should see a folder, and you can create one with your name. And watch how easy it is to create a folder with your name. Typically, we're going to keep our folders under the Documents main folder here on the left. If I click on Documents here, it shows me what folders and files are in Documents. And I'll make them large icons for you, just because I think most of you are seeing them that way. How many are seeing them as large icons like this when you click on Documents? Or do you see them as details like this? It's mostly seeing details. Okay, I'll stick with details. It just seems a little small on the screen for you. Anyway, when you're here, one thing you can do, and you can do this anywhere on any application, the right click is a very useful click. Anytime you right click, a menu will pop up telling you what you can do in the application where your mouse is right now. It's what they call a contextual menu. Wherever you are, if I'm here, it may show something different than when I'm here, not selecting anything. So one thing I can do while I'm here, if I select in the empty area, I can right-click, New Folder. I can actually create a folder and give it the name cs101, and maybe your last name or your full name, and put your assignments in there. If anyone else then logs in as student, if they have any manners whatsoever, they will leave those files alone because it has your name on them. And if you ever come back to this computer looking for a file or folder, you'll know, hey, I've been keeping those underneath this folder with my name. Double-clicking on the folder or hitting the Enter key will take me into that folder. And see here on this little address bar here, this is my where I am in the file system address. I can click back on the documents there and it takes me up a level. Or I can use the back arrow to take me back to where I just was. This remembers your history and I can follow back to the place I just was. So File Explorer has some similar characteristics to the actual Website Explorer. One other very powerful right click, over here on the right, if I right click on my PC here, right click my PC and go down to Properties, I can actually see some details about the system I'm in. And I can even get some advanced information clicking on one of these other links. I can close that anytime I want because I haven't changed anything. I can click on a disk, the local disk C, right click Properties, and I can see how much disk space is left. I recommend you do this regularly on your own computer. If you ever get close to 90% of your disk space in use, it's time to either erase some files or get a larger disk drive. If your computer's slowing down, this is one of the first things to check. Are you running out of space? Because that'll really slow down a computer. Yes? Oh, right click on the C drive on my computer. Does it show up there? If I actually click on this PC, it'll show up over here now on the right. And any disk that I see there, are you seeing your disks? Yeah. Okay. And you can right click on any of those disks to show properties. I can even click on a folder and show properties. It'll tell me how much disk space is being used and how many files are in there, how much disk space. I'm using 2 gig in my documents folder. Very powerful tool, and right click works anywhere. Even out back on your desktop, you can right click on your desktop and you can adjust your display settings. Now they may have locked down what you can do to your display settings. Some students, when they learned to do this, they were constantly changing their desktop background and being very annoying to other students. So please don't do that unless you know that it's not going to be annoying to students. To me, it's a waste of time constantly changing your desktop, but it's good practice to know how to do it. So I'm happy to let you mess with these just to learn how that is all done, because class is about learning how to work your computer. So that's the File Explorer. We're going to talk some more next time about your actual applications. When you actually are running Microsoft Word or the browser, it's actually a program that's located on your computer somewhere as a file. And when you actually click on that icon, you're actually just loading the application that's been installed somewhere over there in your programs files, which contains lots and lots of things, depending on how much software they've loaded on your computer. So File Explorer, remember how to get to that. Just click the yellow folder icon and you can manipulate your files. We'll do more of that next time. You're actually going to have an assignment to actually create a whole structure of files, and you can drag files around and put them in folders. Say this file here, I want it to be in my downloads folder. I can just click and drag it to my downloads folder. Sometimes it'll show it's copying it, sometimes it's showing it's going to move it. So this is your, if I can't find my assignment, what do I do? This is the program to bring up to search for where you put your assignment. Documents is usually where things get automatically, by default, stored from programs. Sometimes your web browser will put them in the downloads folder. Those are the two where you'll be keeping most of your documents. Sometimes, if it's a picture, it will automatically send it to the pictures folder. And the thing is, with your browser, whoever was using your browser the last time as a logged in student, it remembers the last setting. So be very careful when you're saving files to pay attention to where they go. And we'll be helping you review that as we work through this. So I'm going to close my browser, my File Explorer, because it's using up memory. I don't need it. It's always best to not have 1,000 windows open and not be like me. I probably have 10 windows going right now. If your computer's running slow, that's another problem. You have too many windows open. Okay, now let's take a look at that little Edge assignment. I'm looking at the book, page PA 15, is it? They talk about Edge on page PA 14 and just explain some of the icons in a little more detail than I have. I skipped over several. I did mention the refresh. Oh, notice you hit the F5 key. That will also do a refresh. I can add things to favorites. I can look at a different view. Many more things there. And if you use the browser, you'll figure things out. Then they have just a little assignment to look through some pages. They talk about annotating web pages with the web note tool. You're welcome to try that. We're just going to do this very first assignment using Cortana, or if Edge isn't working, finding out this information and taking screenshots and making a document of what I've done. You'd be surprised how many people do not know how to document things that they've done on a computer. But it's very useful to know how to do this. And it's not zooming in nicely for me. But I do have this assignment described right here in this assignment. So you can just go right there and see the requirements. Oh yeah, let me copy and paste it into there to make it more readable for you. Let's see if I can get that copied and pasted into there. Yep.
So the assignments that are on there, like the Edge assignment, does that actually do today?
Well, we're doing it right now. So yeah, it's going to be due today.
It's gonna be due, okay.
So we're going to get it done today. It's not that hard an assignment. We're gonna have it done before class actually. Yes.
And that's how all the assignments are doing?
Generally, yeah. And if we come and realize, wait a minute, we're not able to get that one done on time, I'll adjust the due date. No. You don't need to sign in, and if someone is signed in, unless you're going to save files to the cloud, I would probably sign them out, especially like if you're in your library or in here where you're sharing that login. You don't need to be signed in. I'm going to see if the textbook here will let me copy paste these instructions into the assignment. I'm going to select this and copy it and see if I can get it over here into that assignment description. It pastes, but it kind of pastes in an ugly way. I'll have to clean it up a little bit here. So what we're going to do here is, even though it says Cortana, since some of you can't use Cortana, we're going to create a Word document. Here we go. First task, create a Word document, and then create 4 screenshots. And I'll show you how to do a screenshot, because that's a good, useful thing to know. Where are screenshots? See, there it is. And so what I'll do on screen, we'll show you how Cortana helps you get information about something on a site you may be in. And then we'll take a screenshot of it. Okay, so I have I have updated the instructions in that assignment. If you want to refresh that, you can read these instructions there if these are a little tough to read up there. So the first assignment is open a web page with technology news article. And then we're going to see what a right click does. Now I'm going to do it in Edge, and think about the alternative if you don't have Cortana. So first of all, I want to look for a technology page, something with technology news article. In most of the browsers now, it used to be you had to go to Google to do a search. Because people were doing that so often and they didn't want to compete with Google, they want to make their search default. I can just type my search items right here on the address bar. I can just type technology news article. Even though I would normally type web addresses there, the URL, I can hit my keywords there and it'll automatically say, oh, you must be searching for that. And it takes me to results of technology news. Now, your Edge by default used the Microsoft search engine called Bing, and notice how it actually put my keywords in the search box for Bing. Whenever you're looking for news articles, especially technology, you want the latest stuff. So if you have another site where you know there's tech, like one of my favorite sites, if I go to Fox News, under their tech section, I know that they'll give me some of the latest news about technology. And I can click any one of their articles for technology news. Now, because I have enabled Cortana, I can click on one of these links and ask Cortana. Watch what happens when I right-click, ask Cortana. It pops up information that Cortana has gathered for me about that specific website. And since it had to do with Amazon Prime, it gives me results for something about Amazon Prime. Let's try that on a different site. UFOs. Right-click, ask Cortana. And Cortana pops up something about UFOs. Now, if you don't have Cortana, here's all you have to do. Just go to a site, and we'll just go to search in that technology news article. And I get hits. If I hover over it, I don't get much. I just have to go visit the site itself. There is no right-click, ask Cortana in Firefox. But look, it does give me search Google for that particular site. If you want to try that, that's fine. Or inspect element, I don't need to do that. That's techie stuff. I can right-click and say, oh, search for more things related to that specific website. So in a regular browser, the right-click, there's no Ask Cortana. Maybe there are plugins that you're welcome on your own computer to add. I don't know if it'll let you. I doubt it'll let you install plugins on these computers. So if you don't have Cortana, all you're going to put in your document that you're going to create is, hey, I don't have Cortana. Here's the results I got using whatever, Chrome or Firefox. But in order to start your homework, you need to start a Microsoft Word document. And I think we did that last time, but remember how we start Word? I can click if I have the Word icon on my taskbar, I can click it, start it from there. Or I could go to my Windows button and type Word. It shows up. I can hit Enter because I see it highlighted. And it will start up Word. And I'm ready to begin a blank document. So I should see something like this. You probably won't see a lot of recents there. Just click blank document, and this would be the beginning of my what they want. I'm going to be uploading once I have the information. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, stretching the window out. Control roll my mouse button to zoom in. Control roll up and down will zoom in and out. I'm adjusting my window side just by going to the edge of my window and grabbing that side of it. And I'm going to put in here cs101 PA-16 assignment Edge browser. Edge browser with Cortana. If you don't have Cortana, just put unable to get Edge started using Firefox or Chrome instead. And then we want to put in screenshot A, which is, if I look at what they are asking for in the book, open a web page with technology news, right-click a term. So technology news, right-click. If you're using another browser, it would be search for technology news and then just view the link. But with Cortana, the right-click shows me, remember what right-click? Ask Cortana, shows a little pop-up of Cortana's related information. Because I clicked on an image, it shows me related information. If I right-click the link, Ask Cortana, let's see what happens. If I right-click the link on UFOs, Cortana finds me Wikipedia articles about UFOs. But what we want to do is insert a screenshot. Have any of you ever done a screenshot? How do you do a screenshot? The snipping tool, good. The snipping tool is one way. There's a quicker way of a screenshot. Let me show you the quicker way. If all I'm going to do is paste it into an article or a document, Control-Alt on the lower left of your keyboard, Control-Alt, and then print screen, upper right, just above your insert key. Control-Alt print screen will copy into the clipboard whatever window is currently being selected. Then I can click on my document and Control-V or right-click paste, and it will paste that window. If I know I want that whole window, it's a little faster than going through Snipping Tool, although Snipping Tool is much more flexible. Control-Alt print screen, a very nice way of capturing a screen of the window, a screenshot of the window I'm in. Control print screen will get the entire screen. But Control-Alt print screen gets the window that's currently active. Right now, the Word document window is active. So here we see the screenshot of Cortana when I did a right-click Ask Cortana. So right-click Ask Cortana results. And if you don't have that, just put search for technology news in a regular browser. There is no Cortana. You have to click the link, and here's what I got for a result. So for a regular browser, it's just a matter of clicking on any of the results you found, but then doing the screenshot. And remember, well, we're going to learn this in Word, that anytime I have an image in Word, I can select that image and I can adjust the size of it. If it's too big, I can just select and grab a sizing handle at the corner and shrink it down to make it a little more readable. So there's your first screenshot. See how the Ask Cortana is like a mini result of that link. And actually what appears to be going on is Cortana is searching on the specific information you're clicking on. So if I click on plane, let's see if I click plane and right-click Ask Cortana. Look at that, I get information about other planes. And maybe that specific plane. Yes?
Do I have to have a screenshot of both the site I got the article from and the information I asked you?
No. Just the result. And under Edge, it just looks a little different. And if you're using Edge, you should have the screen split with Cortana's answer. That's what the book was intending to have, not realizing we had some PCs here that for some reason Edge isn't working. One of the first things I will probably try is just rebooting that computer, and maybe somehow Edge is messed up, and a restart, Edge will get straightened out after we log in, and it'll work just fine. Can't explain why Edge would come up partway and then just quit. But the important thing is here, we're getting familiar with getting screenshots. I'm going to do this next time. I'm going to use the snipping tool so you see how the snipping tool works. Very nice and flexible way of capturing pictures of things on your screen. But let's see what they want us to do next. I'll go back and look at my assignment. Screenshot B. Look for a website. Open the website of a fancy restaurant in a city near you. And then get at Cortana and see what it displays. So I'm going to now search for Dubuque, a large city near me, huge city, metropolis. Dubuque fancy restaurants. What do you think is whoever knows Dubuque here, what do you think is the fanciest restaurant in Dubuque? Who's? Chan.
He said,
Chaps, I've never been there.
it's like right the Jewish, right by all the bars.
What's the one in the bottom of Juliet?
Oh,
It's a gal's name. What's the restaurant lower level of Julian restaurant? Caroline's. Caroline's. That seems like semi-fancy. Maybe not luxury. Galena has a lot of good restaurants if you're interested. Okay, so I'm going to pick a restaurant. I've never been to either of these, but let's click on Champagne. And then with Cortana, oh, it's in the casino, huh? Oh, are we done? Wasn't watching the clock. Oh, yes. Yes, you may. Sorry. All you're going to do is save those screenshots and then upload it to the assignment. Sorry about that. I wasn't watching the clock.
Do you want just the screenshot, or do you want us to name the screenshot as well?
Just put in the middle of it, you know, screenshot A, B, C, D, E. That's all you got to do. That's all that matters. And I'll do quick the other one, 10 USD. I don't even have to put that in Cortana. I can just do 10 USD euros and see how it automatically shows the result in Edge, where in the Firefox browser I have to actually hit enter and then it shows me a nice result in a regular browser. So a screenshot of either one works fine for me. Yeah. So save what you have in case someone else comes back. And anytime in class here, if you're partly done, I would save it to my OneDrive or a Google Drive or a Jump Drive. Generally, people aren't erasing files on your desktop, but you never know. They may accidentally say, "What's this folder about?" and send it to the recycle bin, if not delete it. So remember, Control-Alt Print Screen is the quickest way to get a screenshot of that window. Control-Alt Print Screen, Alt-Tab over to back to Word, and paste. I just typed it in the address bar, and it started showing up. And then I can do Control-Alt Print Screen right while I'm there, and that'll show up here in my results. So you can see the behavior of Edge with Cortana, trying to be a little more helpful. I don't actually have the Cortana circle on my address bar. So then in Word, you just can do a Save As or Control S, give it a name, remember where you saved it, so then in the assignment you can do the upload. If it doesn't come up, just make a note of that and just hit enter after the search, and you should see something like this. Yeah, if this doesn't show up in Apple stock or 10 euros, yeah, just do a screenshot of that. And as the browser makers decide on how to appeal to you more, you will see your browsers constantly changing. For a while, the browser wars were over. We thought Chrome had won, but Edge and Firefox are coming back. But I think Chrome is still the big winner in the browser wars.
So at first, some for example, mine didn't allow me to publish this string. So I thought it was the same thing.
You got it, Tim? I can delete this now. Wow. So basically, we never have homework.
What's that?
I said we basically have no homework because we do it in class.
We're going to be doing a lot of it in class. That's not going to be all of them, though. Some of them, they do get harder as we get going. And we'll get partway through a word assignment, and then it'll be, okay, finish the rest on your own, and it'll be due a certain time. But most of the time, we'll be getting things done here.
Okay.
Just because hands-on, there's a lot of questions pop up
Right.
along the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Save as. If you're on online, do a file, download a copy, and then the copy is what you need to upload. So if you're on the online Word, do download a copy. Yeah, and if you're using the online one, if you save it there, whoever signed in, that'll become on their OneDrive. So download a copy is the best thing to do. And we'll end this recording. There's the record button.